And I'll start with this headline. It says, political Q&A. Ritchie Torres is Israel's loudest House supporter. I mean, between Ritchie Torres and John Fetterman, they are neck and neck as some of the most staunchly unapologetic supporters of this Israeli regime, or this genocidal regime. Let me read just a snippet from the article. Torres was ardently defending Israel well before he ran for Congress. But now in office, donors have appreciated the support. Despite running uncontested, now understand that, Ritchie Torres ran uncontested, he received more campaign contributions last cycle from pro-Israeli sources than any New York member other than House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Now, ask yourself that question. I'll pause here. Why would a guy being uncontested in a race that he's obviously going to win because he's uncontested receive donations from an Israeli PAC? Why would he still receive that, even though he's uncontested? Unless the money is to do something else, because it's not to elect him, right? I wanted to start there. Now let's get into the protest that we're going to be covering today. We're going to start with this tweet here. This one says, there's no doubt Ritchie Torres heard me when I rightly called him an anti-Semite who silences Jews. He smirks. His smirk was very visible inches away. And this is, shout out to this account, Ganja Girl 2024, posting this video. She was at the protest. This is her angle from the protest. Now, there's several angles from the same protest, and I will be showing, so just stay tuned for that. Here's the first video showing the protest, and let me set it up the right way. Ritchie Torres is at an event. He's on stage. Lots of people at this event, and then there's just different sort of protest actions that take place throughout this meeting. So it goes quiet, the protests start, then they stop the protest, get the protesters out, then somebody else begin protesting. That's sort of the narrative in this segment. So let's listen to the first video and watch. So that's Ritchie Torres right there in the middle. And then he's there. I forget the guy, the Republican's name, but you see him there on the screen, and whoever the host is right there. So I don't know if you were an elected representative and you were on the side of an issue that got this sort of reaction, would you re-examine that issue? Would you rethink it? Would you say, wow, why are so many people who, and these aren't people who are like supporters of murderers. These are people that are saying, stop killing babies, stop killing innocent people, stop killing civilians. People who are screaming these things are now protesting me. Would you have a moment of self-reflection? Or does the money that line your pocket by AIPAC prevent you from that self-reflection? I think it's the latter. Let's let the video finish, and there's more content to cover on this protest by anti-genocider protesters. Like, I wouldn't be able to look at myself if I was Ritchie Torres. Like, the level of hiding you got to do in your own barrel, the level of having to alter your life because you are supporting something so egregious as genocide that people are yelling and screaming in your face. And believe me, if he didn't have these protectors, people would be at his throat for the support that he has for this genocidal government. A couple of more videos. I'll read this. So Congressman Ritchie Torres and Mike Lawler, so that's the other person, Mike Lawler, decided to take up on their offer to promote Palestinian genocide in Gaza. And that's the 92nd Street, New York. It's some sort of global center for culture. That's where they're at. Global Center for Culture. But we had other plans and shut their whole event down. So this is their event. Let's see how it goes. I'm going to play a couple of videos here. There's the first one. So this is another angle. Looks like a nosebleed section. You can see the same sort of action happen in the other one. That's a lady that came for the event, apparently, and not the protest. She didn't understand what was going on. She came for the event and not the protest. But you can see these aren't just one or two protesters. These people came in deep. Like as they would say in the hood, these people came deep. And you can't somebody like Ritchie Torres, they can't no longer look at this guy. Look at this guy right here. Let's put the sound up on this. Look at him. The old guy he's upset that the youngsters aren't down with genocide like we are. That's what they're upset about. And let's listen some more to this protest. Like Ritchie Torres is a gleeful coon. Those are the worst kind. And those are the kind that I'm not one that preaches nonviolence. I don't do that because I do believe in it. But in this person right here, all I could say, he would get an ass whooping. Send him around this way. This guy. To gleefully with a smile support genocide to me is very disgusting. And you can see him kind of smirk throughout these clips. He's kind of smirking as to say, look at the peasants that's protesting and you guys are all behind these shields. Wait till it gets to the moment, Ritchie Torres, where there's not enough security to protect you. And that's a day I can't wait for people like you, like him. And Al Sharpton, I would say, is another one who gleefully sell out their community. And then when they're called onto it, they stand behind their guards, protected by, or from, I should say, the working class. Like in this video right here. It's pretty disgusting. There's another video. Look at this. Yeah. And then So I'm gonna play another angle. So they think they go back to their show, and then let's play some more here from here. Come on. No, it's not working. All right, I'll just click through it, and that'll make it a little bit faster here. Let's listen to this one now.
So I think certainly.
So they tried to start back up, and it also doesn't go well.
So I think certainly.
The genocide supporters want all the pro-Palestinians out. We want to support genocide in peace. Here's another one.
And I am a constituent of District 15. I lived there my entire life. I was born there. I was raised there. When you ran in 2022, you said you modeled yourself as someone like us. You wanted the working class and from the black community.
So, and don't kid yourself. These politicians, especially those who support genocide, are becoming more and more sophisticated with these public things because they know they're going to get protests. So they're stuffing these events with more of their supporters, vocal supporters, who are going to come out and sort of counter the protests. Because if you think these are just random people who didn't understand what was going to happen with these protests, because you've never seen in any other of the sort of unplanned protests where it was more grassroots, unplanned protests where the audience that is unsuspectingly hearing this protest happen, they're not usually participating and trying to shout down the people. It's usually one or two, but you're talking about this entire crew, this entire audience is trying to shout down protests who's calling for them to stop killing people. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. I feel it feels like the audience was sort of set up in preparation for something that could happen like this, and it did happen like that, but it didn't stop them from protesting, though. There's more. There's another angle here. This angle here may be the most clear of the same event. So let's listen from this. I think this is the fourth angle we're getting now.
Hide. We charge you with genocide. Ritchie Torres, we can hide. We charge you with genocide. Ritchie Torres, you can hide. We charge you with genocide. Ritchie Torres, we can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Ritchie Torres, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Ritchie Torres, you can't hide. We charge you with.
You see him? Ooh, like make sure these YouTube censors, like, this would absolutely be a guy that Rome and I would have a conversation with. And at the end of that conversation, he may look a little different, is all I would say. Because this guy, one thing I hate more, and I would say a lot of radicals despise more, for example, than a KKK member. You know who I hate more? Is a person of color, a black person, a person of color who sells their community out. That's way worse to me. And I'm trying to think something worse than that, but there isn't. So this smug guy is he's smug because he knows he's protected by his coonery. That's what gives him the smugness. It's being able to give that grin if you're a house Negro to a field Negro, because I live a little bit better because I do sell out. So I'm able to live in a house because I sell out. That's the smirk that this guy is giving that to me deserves nothing but hands, if you will. It's an uneasy smirk, though. You can still tell that he is uneasy because he doesn't know if there's a real one in the audience that's going to charge him. Like, you can tell he still feels a little bit uneasy, but I'm trying to put on the face that I'm smirking because he still doesn't know if there's a real one out there that's going to literally attack him, that he is completely exposed. You think this let me go back to the stage. You think this slow old white guy is going to stop a real one from charging Ritchie Torres? Absolutely not.
Torres, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Ritchie Torres, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Ritchie Torres, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Ritchie Torres, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Ritchie Torres, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide.
One of these, like if I had planned one of these, this is just a fantasy. If I had planned something like this, I would call up all the homies all the Samoan homies I know. The ones that's like 6'3", like 6'3" and above. Go deep, go 20 deep with 20 Samoans. Try tossing them out, motherfucker. Try tossing them out. I would love to see something like that, but that's just a funny thing.
Torres, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. Torres, you can't hide. We charge you with genocide. We charge you with genocide.
So you can see some of the people being escorted out, and this is wonderful to see. And here is Colin. Shout out to Colin. He's been on the shows, helped co-host a couple of times. Here's his tweet. Enjoying a night out to celebrate my holiday break to learn that Ritchie Torres is still a Zionist bitch. Uses our clip to justify his loyalty to Israel and blocks Indie News. So what Colin is referring to, that Ritchie Torres did use one of Indie News's videos to call something out that he wanted, and then he blocked them. So just a little more of the panel. I'll let this more play in the background as I speak. But here is another angle, and it's a longer video of it.
If one were to look,
Anyway, so we've seen this footage. It's just from a different angle. So I'll let this sort of play in the background. But lately, I would say in the last 6 months or so, Ritchie Torres has kind of gone viral as the #1 villain of progressives. I'm trying to think of someone who is looked at or despised more than Ritchie Torres, sort of by progressive fashions. I mean, it was Hakeem Jeffries. It was at a point, but I can't imagine, or I can't think of someone, maybe Fetterman. But Fetterman doesn't rile people up like this guy.